everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will do a reading wrap up of all the books that I've read so far, which aren't that many to be honest. I think I'm about like 20-ish books into the year. Before we go on with this video, I am picky with my 5-star read. I only give books 5 stars if I know, I will remember them in a couple of months. Anyways, I'm gonna start with the first book, which I don't have as a physical copy, unfortunately, but it is Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. This is a college sports romance with a love triangle. I really love the vibe in this book. Beach house, summer vibes. This book is about Ari, and she always had a crush on Chase, who is her twin brother's best friend, but also kind of her friend. She wanted to shoot her shot, and she did, and it kind of worked out. Basically, until he told her that everything was a mistake and broke things off. Obviously, she was heartbroken. She then meets Noah Riley. Perfect Noah, by the way. The ending took me by surprise though. I must say that it was emotional and I felt really bad for Ari and the person she ended up with. I'm not gonna tell you the name because you then would obviously know. At the end of the day, I gave the book like 3.5 stars because I felt like the chapters were kind of repetitive. I put the book down multiple times and it was hard for me to finish the book since it was also pretty long. I think it had like 400-ish pages. Okay, next we have, I don't even know if I can show you this. There's a naked man on here. This is The Hookup by Kristen Callahan. Shout out to Medita because she made me read the book. I was asking her, what should I read? I need something light. I need a college sports romance. And she gave me this one. As I said, it's a college sports romance and it is about Anna and Drew. Anna's kind of quiet, who focuses on her studies and doesn't want to get involved with anyone or anything. And especially not Drew, who is the quarterback of their college's football team. He's obviously intrigued by her and they eventually make a deal, friends with benefits. But as you know, drama here, drama there, someone will catch feelings. I honestly didn't even expect to like this book because this isn't a plot that is new or anything. Like, we know sports romance, fake dating, friends with benefits. But the writing made this book so good. And yes, there is a third act breakup, but it's honestly so realistic, which is why I like the book so much. I think I gave it like 4 or 4.5 stars, and I would recommend this to anyone who just needs a quick, light sports romance. Next, we have Heartless by Marissa Maya. Oh my god, I have so much to say about this book. This serves as a prequel to Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, which I didn't know, by the way. I started the book because I thought it was a retelling and I was so confused when I first read it. This tells the backstory of the Queen of Hearts, how she became this cold-hearted. The story is set in the Kingdom of Hearts with the protagonist of Catherine Pinkerton. All this girl wants is a bakery. And we all know how miserable the Queen of Hearts is at the end of the book. So you might wonder, what the hell happened? What is up with the bakery? Why is she so cold-hearted? I have no clue what I signed up for. Everything kind of changed when she met the court joker, Jess. Jess is charming, funny, mysterious, and obviously Catherine is intrigued by him. And there are a lot of conflicts in this book. Catherine wants to please her parents. She wants a bakery. She wants Jess. And fourth, the Jabberwock. When I first read the book, my rating was pretty low. I think it was like 3 stars, but now I don't understand why I gave it 3 stars because honestly, this is such a good book. But again, be prepared for the ending because I wasn't and I bawled my eyes out. Next, we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is a thriller and is about Pippa, who wants to solve a local murder case, and she's on a mission to reveal the truth behind it. Basically, this case is about a girl, Andy Bell, who was pretty popular and got killed allegedly by her boyfriend Sal Singh, who after that took his own life. However, Pippa believes that Sal is innocent and wants to prove that, so she starts interviewing people who were associated with Andy and Sal, and there are a lot of twists, turning, plot twists, and everything in this book. Once everything starts rolling, you won't be able to put the book down because you just want to know what the hell happened that night. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars and I still need to finish the series. There are 2 more books. I don't know what they're about, but I think that every book has their own case. I'm really excited about this because everyone said that it's only gonna get better with each book. Yeah, I'm gonna continue them one day. Okay, my next read was Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin, but this is a fantasy novel about Lou and Reed. Lou is a witch who has magical abilities but has been in hiding for years now, always on the run from the chasseurs. Anyways, those are the witch hunters. Reed is a witch hunter. Long story short, this is a marriage of convenience book. So you see the problem here. I was pretty excited about this one because before I read the book, obviously I saw the quotes. So when I first read the book, I was like, this is not what I was expecting. You get thrown right into the plot, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the thing is, French words and character names were thrown around and you were just like so confused. I didn't understand anything the first chapters, so I wish the world building would have been better. Actually, the world building is non-existent in this book. What I did like about the book, where Lou and Reed, they made the book pretty enjoyable. Their banter and bickering was really good. I think it was an okay read. Let me know if you like this book or not, and if you've read book 2 and 3, let me know if it's worth it, if I should continue or not. Okay, next we have The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. This is about Vanessa, not me, who is a personal assistant of Aiden Graves, who is a professional football player. But someday she gets tired of him and his crap. She decides to quit, and then one day he decides to ring on her doorbell. And what the hell does he want? He wants her to marry him so he can stay in the States. This is the slowest slow burn that I've ever read. Mariana Zapata is famous for her slow burn books, but this one is really freaking slow. I also have to admit that Aiden isn't really the talkative guy. Like, did they talk? He was very reserved, didn't want to talk to anyone, doesn't want to be bothered with anything, so it was kind of hard for me to connect with him. Also, I don't know how Mariana Zapata did it, but like, I feel like nothing happened in this book, but somehow I still enjoyed reading it. I was just reading and reading, and I cannot tell you what happened. I gave this like 3.75 because I just can't read romance books that are so long. Next we have the Shadow and Bone trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. We have Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising. After I finished the book, I can say that it wasn't a great read because I was bored 70% of the time, but like, it was good for the understanding of the universe because there are so many different people and abilities and names. I mean, they aren't that long. I think 350 pages. Wait. You might think, oh, 350 pages isn't that bad. But like, looking back, it is that bad. Long story short, these books are about Alina, who doesn't have any abilities that she knows of, but then one day she discovers that she does have an ability, and then she is sent to the royal court to train with the other Grisha, and Grisha are people with abilities. She was at the royal court, met the Darkling, which I've probably heard of. I didn't find any of these three that interesting. I'm glad that I've read them. I would give them overall a rating of like 3. Okay, next I have a book that I don't own as a physical copy, but it is Paper Princess by Erin Watt. This book is about Ella, who just lost her mother. Her father already passed away like a couple of years ago. So her father's best friend seeks Ella out to take her in. They go to his house. Obviously he's rich. He has 5 super duper not so nice sons. As you might have already guessed, she is gonna get involved with one of them, or maybe even 2 of them. Yeah, I wasn't really fond of the plot or the romantic in the book. There were a lot of things that kind of bothered me because first, they were so mean towards her. And then another thing that I also didn't like was that one of the guys she was like kind of involved with always called her little sis. I didn't understand why he would do that, but there were so many other things that kind of bugged me, but like, I won't deep dive into that now because it's full of spoilers, but like, if you want to read it, you can check out my Goodreads. Next we have The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy by Jenny Han, which are the prettiest covers to ever exist. Anyways, I think everyone knows what these books are about. They're isn't anything happening in this book. I have to say that I love the vibes of the book, and when you read the book, you will get the vibes that you got from the show. Somehow there was always drama. I have to say that Belly kind of got on my nerves. She always stuck her tongue out, and I didn't understand why she would do that. With book 2 and 3, a lot of conflicts, especially between Belly and one of the brothers, or no, Belly and both brothers at this point. I'm glad that I've read the books because now I can watch a TV show and compare them. I'm really excited about season 2 because I want to see where they're gonna go with, and I know that Jenny Han posted that whoever was endgame in the books doesn't mean that he has to be endgame in the show. I'm kind of scared but also excited. I looked like a raccoon in my last clip. My mascara was like all over the place, so I hopefully have fixed it now. I will go on with the next book, which is The Serpent and Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I don't have the physical copy unfortunately, but I love the book so much. Basically, this book is set in a vampire world and the protagonist is named Oraya, who is a human girl living in said world. She obviously wants to change something about herself, that she isn't prey to everyone around her anymore, and there's one way to do that, which is competing in a tournament called the Kajari. So you win, you get a wish. The thing is, only one person can win a tournament. So basically, there is no space for romance left. You would think. There is a guy named Rain who seeks her out and wants to align himself with her. At first, she's like, no, thank you. I don't need anyone. I don't need anything. Things happen. She comes back to him and they form a team together. There are a lot of trials in a tournament, which I've been looking forward to the most. I found them to be pretty hard to understand. It was really confusing what was going on right now. Also, we were so robbed in this book because there was a lot of banter and bickering at the beginning of the book between Rain and Oraya. I wish we could have had that in the middle part as well, because from like 30 to 70% it was just like pretty flat, and there was a very, very good scene at 70% of the book which had me giggling and all that stuff, but then again it was at 70% of the book. Let me tell you, the ending had my jaw on the floor. I didn't expect this at all, and I was like so devastated when I finished the book because the second book wasn't out by then. I gave this book 4 stars just because I know that it will get better, because with every fantasy series, the first one is most of the time the weakest one. Okay, next we have The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue by V. Schwab, and I must say up front that this wasn't my favorite book. I gave this one 3 stars. If you don't know what this book is about, it is about Addie. She is forgotten by everyone she ever meets. We get 2 timelines in this book. We get the past 300 years ago and the present scene. I found the past scenes to be kind of repetitive and boring at some points. I was just looking forward to the present scenes, which weren't that eventful either. I can't explain it to you, but like I just couldn't connect with any of them. I didn't feel bad for them, even though if I should have. I was hoping that I would love this one, but I didn't, unfortunately, which is kind of sad. Let's move on with the next book, which is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. We get 2 timelines here, the past and the present, and both of them are 10 years apart. In the past, we are introduced to a close-knit group of 7 theater students who live and breathe Shakespeare. In the first 3 years of their college years, the 7 people in the group always have been assigned to the same role. One was the hero, one was the villain, and so on and so on. But with their last play in their last year of school, everyone gets a different role, and that role kind of has an impact on their real life. So this is like overlapping from onstage to offstage, which is pretty freaking interesting if you ask me. One night, someone dies, there's the drama. Everything starts to crumble down that night, and then Oliver, who was in the group as well, is blamed for the other person's death and has to go to prison. So now we are at the present scenes, and he wants to prove that he is not guilty. He starts to retell their college years, which led up to that night. This book was everything I thought it wouldn't be, and it consumed me in the best way possible, because I was so hooked until the very last page of the book. And what I loved about this book was the foreshadowing, and I was just like so mind blown by it, and I gave it 5 stars because I still think about this book until today. Next we have Happy Place by Emily Henry. This was my second Emily Henry book. I fell in love with this book, with the writing, with the characters, with the plot, everything that happened in that book. Who is stupid enough to think this is just a fluffy, cute summer romance read? Me. I am indeed that stupid enough. There's nothing more heartbreaking than flashback POVs because you will see them falling in love leading up to the conflict why they're not together anymore in the present scenes. And then in the present scenes, you will see them separately, probably being miserable because they are not together anymore. Second Chance is one of the most heartbreaking tropes to ever exist, but also one of the best because of the tension and the angst, and I love this. Forced Proximity, Second Chance, Fake Dating, you will get everything you desire in this book. Yeah, overall, I give this book 4.5 stars. I just loved Win and Harriet. They are perfect for each other. I certainly wasn't able to put the book down just because I needed closure. I first wanted to know why they broke up, and second, wanted them to get back together. Read this book. It's the perfect summer read. Even if it's emotional, I really enjoyed myself reading that. Next, we have Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I like this book a lot. I love the characters, and if you don't know what this book is about, it is about Bree, who kind of escapes her old life to seek a quiet, fresh start in a new town where she meets Archer. No one talks to him, he doesn't talk to anyone, he doesn't interact with anyone, he doesn't want to be involved in anything at all. So when Bree moves to that town, she's obviously intrigued by him and wants to befriend him. And it was such a cute read. Archer and Bree are one of the softest couples out there. Overall, I enjoyed this book, but gave it only like 3.5 stars because I found it to be a bit too long. When I had still 100 pages left, I was like, when is this book gonna end? What's gonna happen now? Because there was a lot of drama going on, which was pretty unnecessary, and the melodramatics just got on my nerves. I think this book could have been shorter and then I would have enjoyed it more. Read that if you want something emotional, something that makes you feel something. Give this book a try if you haven't yet. Okay guys, we have 3 books left, and the next one is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. We get 2 timelines in this book as well. First is 10 years ago when Macy and Elliot were like 14 to 18. And then we get the present scenes like 10 years later when they're in their late 20s. As I just said, this book is about Macy and Elliot and how they turn from friends to lovers to strangers. I just said it with Happy Place. There's nothing more heartbreaking than seeing them being apart, devastated and sad and confused, and you just wish that they would just get back together, and you want to know what the hell happened that led up to this point because they were perfect for each other. And what I love the most about the flashback scenes was they both asked each other about their love lives, but like without being too obvious, but being exactly that. I loved Elliot. Perfect, kind, charming, witty, funny, cute, sweet Elliot. The only reason for me that I gave this book like 3.75 stars is because of the ending, because something happened. I was just kind of sad that they brushed it under the rug and never talked about it again. Like, if you want to know what I'm talking about, you can go to my review on Goodreads. I will link my Goodreads profile in the description box. And the next one is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And long story short, this is obviously a 5-star read. This was such an amazing read. I knew that I was gonna love it. It just took me some time to finally pick this book up. I went into the book blindly. I didn't know one single thing. I would recommend to do the exact same because you just need to live through it. You just need to experience it yourself. This was one of the best books that I've ever read. So basically, the narrator of this book is called Monique, who is a journalist who was chosen to interview Evelyn. And we will get short chapters of the interaction between Monique and Evelyn. And then we will get Evelyn's point of view as she was younger with each husband. I was so sad when I finished the book. At the end of the book, when I was done and let everything sink in, I was just like, oh my God, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell did I just read? Jump right into it, give it a chance if you haven't yet. And honestly, soul crushing, heart-wrenching, heartbreaking, everything in between. I'm not gonna say anymore. Last but not least, we have Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I devoured this book. I love this book. Vicious is a novel about two college friends slash roommates, Victor and Eli. They're both clever, both cunning, both eager, very, very competitive as well, but they're best friends. After an experiment, both of them gain supernatural powers, which lead up to Victor ending up in jail. Eli, however, still roams free. He was the reason that Victor even went to jail. We get two timelines in this book. We get the flashback, and then we get the present scenes where Victor is breaking out of jail, wanting to find Eli, getting revenge. I love Victor so much in this book. He is such a complex character, but one of the best. Vandalizing his family's books, breaking out of jail, seeking revenge, name it, he's done it all, and I'm here for it. And then there's Eli, who is a freaking hypocrite. And I am so incredibly excited about the sequel, which is called Vengeful, because the ending of book 1 was so good. I didn't predict it at all. I gave this one 4.5 stars. That was the last book of today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if you guys read the books that I've read, what your Goodreads goal is, because mine is 50 and it's not looking good so far. But yeah, add me on Goodreads. Let me know what you're reading right now. Let me know if you've read them, planning to, liked it, didn't like it. I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions on it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope I will see you guys next